Friends, I thought I will hop on here and share my thoughts about the new Dior Beauty arrivals because my basket's full and I need to edit it down, but I also didn't want to buy everything just for the sake of new makeup reviews, as I understand those videos gain major traction for watch time. I didn't want to use that excuse just to spend money and thought I can still create new content and just talk about the makeup I want to buy. So here we are. But this video is about the new Dior releases that have just completely gripped me by the neck, and I wanted to share that I have quite a few items in my basket. This is what happens with shopping and me. I fill the basket, I deliberate over it, and then I start to edit it down. But I thought, wouldn't it be fun to share my thoughts with my makeup friends and cover each product, what I think about it, and how I will go forward. So the first product on the list, which I think I will buy, this is a heavy yes, is the Dior Glow Maximizer in lilac. Limited edition shade, 2 limited edition shades. We'll get to the next one in a minute. The Glow Maximizer formula from Dior is one of their most just outstanding products from last year. I didn't award the Forever Glow Maximizer officially. I mentioned it in my favorites because I couldn't get away. I had to mention it as an honorable. But this product is outstanding. And to have it in this lilac shade, which I know, based off this photo here with the model that looks to have a medium skin tone, kind of around where I sit on the spectrum, it could look frosty. It could, but I don't think it will. I think it will have more of a pastel effect on the cheekbones for highlight, but in the Glow Maximizer formula, that is just with that fine pearl, blendable. I need to get it. I need to get it. This has to be mine. And the next limited edition shade is Tutu. Now, this is where we're at a crossroads because initially I was going to buy both. But Tutu, compared to the pink shade and the rose shade, which I have rosy from the original Glow Maximizer lineup, Tutu appears to have the warm pink base with that gold flip. And I have that in several capacities. I have that in a baked highlighter formula. I actually have it in a Dior baked highlighter formula that I unofficially call their desert collection. That's not what it's called, but it had the powder mold shaped like desert sands. And one of the shades is that warm pink with the gold flip. But now we have it in the Maximizer formula. Ooh, is this tempting? Because you can't go wrong with the pink base gold flip. I mean, it exists, again, a lot in my collection. But what's just seductive about it is that to have that pink base, but also the gold flip. And I'm curious as to how it would translate when blended, right? Because this is how people felt about Pat's Divine Rose highlighter, where in the pan, it looked pink, but on it just looked gold, right? You couldn't really detect any pink from the powder when applied on the skin. However, because this is a liquid, it might translate differently. We might get a little bit of both. So that's why it's still in the basket, but the higher priority shade I have my radar on is definitely the lilac. And next we have, well, I'm so silly. I took screenshots, but I cut off the name of the product. Alicia, you're so silly. Let me go back to my basket, which you should see all the tabs that I have open. I have my Dior tab open. Okay, here we go. We're back in the basket. The Dior Forever Couture Luminizer Glow Mania Limited Edition in 003 Lilac Mania. This is what happens to me. I envision a certain type of look and I use that to justify an unreasonable purchase. And the unjustification is the fact that I will apply Dior Maximizer 010 Lilac first, Lilac Mania second, and have just like this lilac highlighter. And then I ask myself, Alicia, how often will you pull off this look? I have my Byredo stick highlighter on. This is a shade like the champagne gold that I would wear regularly, okay, consistently. Lilac. And the reason why I'm leaning more towards the liquid highlighter versus the powder is because the liquid highlighter for me a little more versatile. I could slap that on first, and that will serve as like a cushion pad, if you will, for another powder highlighter, or just a powder highlighter to sit better on. Where layering powder highlighters on top of powder highlighters could get a little funny. I don't think it will look great in the end. You'll have to be careful with what type of powder you use and what brush you use to apply that cocktail with. But that's why I'm leaning more towards the Glow Maximizer and Lilac, and we'll let Lilac Mania go. Remove. Now we're off to the Dior Show 5 Couleurs in the limited edition 812 Pink Mania and 623 Peach Mania. All the manias. Let's start with 812, because initially I wasn't going to buy 812 Pink Mania, and the reasoning behind that was because Peach Mania had the more peach leaning shades, which I naturally gravitate towards. But with Pink Mania, I found there was just a lot more versatility here. There was more distinction between the shades. You have the pastel petal pink. You have that mint green. The center appears to be like a taupe champagne type of a gig. You have what looks to be more of like a mauve lilac, and then what is like a plum rose. Right? I feel that has a little more going on with Pink Mania. And to use the pastel pink shade, which I don't know how it will perform. I'm not entirely sure if this will apply chalky, if you will get any type of color payoff. I don't know. But to have that as the inner corner wash of highlight, because you know how I love to play with pastel matte shades for highlighting purposes. I think that is just a cool effect on the eye. And to have this color for that role, I think will be beautiful. Or even the mint, the soft mint. Based off these eye photos, the mint looks quite soft. I'm not entirely sure if it will appear mint on the eyes. Maybe on me, because I'm deeper than the model here on the photo. Maybe it will have more of like that mint color payoff when applied on my skin tone. But I like how there's more distinction, where you see that plum rose on the outer corner, and then you see what, I don't know what they put on the lid. Maybe they applied the center shade. I'm not entirely sure, but there's dimension here, right? Whereas for Peach Mania, okay, for Peach Mania, you got the sky blue, which I absolutely love. I'm a sucker for sky blue, okay? But you have like 4 intensities of peach. They all, to me, from the photo, right? I'm not entirely sure. I haven't seen these or swatched them in person. But they all give that peachy type of undertone, but in various degrees. You got the center shade that appears to lean a little more on the warmish side versus Pink Mania, which I think more cooler tone and undertone. I'm not entirely sure if there will be the same distinction I think achievable with Pink Mania versus Peach Mania. But again, I'm just looking at the photos. I can't really tell. Ooh, but that, I want to say it's a like a brown rose. You know I'm a sucker for the rose browns. Okay, I can't help it. And to have that sky blue shade, again, as a highlight moment, how I would use that pastel pink from Pink Mania. This is the problem. $71 each. Oh, and they're both limited edition. I'm going to keep them both in here. Okay, I'm going to keep them both in here. I will deliberate with myself, but I'm leaning more towards Pink Mania because I think that will have a larger impact on my skin tone and will look beautiful. I mean, the springy pastel inspiration this is pulling out of me is just outrageous. But on to the next product. What do we have here? I originally had the Dior stick, but I think at this point, hopefully, maybe you'll see that video. I'm not entirely sure. I got a video with the Dior Forever. So I finally bought it. And I think I had the rouge blush. But let me know, family, I couldn't make a distinction between new shades. I thought the Dior rouge blush was an already existing product, but are there new shades added to the lineup? Because I was looking at Peach Petal. Shame on me. Shame on me. Do I really need another peach blush? Again, it is appealing because of how everything just ties together with the quads, and to have this peach petal shade for blush will just be just like that epicenter, right? You got like that peach color on the cheeks, and paired with the 2-2 Glow Maximizer. So let me know if there are new shades that released with the newer makeup, because the Dior Rouge Blush is not a new product, right? But because it says new, exclusive new on the website, I don't know what that means. I don't know if there are colors that are exclusively new, but I think Peach Petal might be one of them. Let me know down below. And then our friend Charlotte Holdcroft, hi Charlotte, showed that the Dior bronzers released in Europe. They're not here overseas yet. Here it is, the new Dior Forever Nude Bronzer with hyaluronic acid. We got 5 shades. No. Yes, hold on. These numbers are weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shades. Light matte, light, soft matte, soft, warm matte, warm, intense matte, intense matte. I don't know what that means. I'm scrolling through to see if we, okay. Here we go. It's funny. It's hard to make, well, based off the photo, it's hard to make out the differences between these shades. But what's appealing about it is the packaging. I love how the packaging reflects what the product is. The finish says Radiant Glowy Matte. Cool. Buildable based off, well, just assuming from is jelly baked texture. You know how I am about bronzer, fam. I would love to try this formula. It just seems appealing to me, but I'm just laughing at the photo because on the first glance, they all look the same. I would have a hard time figuring out which one I would purchase for myself. Charlotte purchased 3, and I think she purchased like the deepest shade that she said she could use and build up. So I don't know how far down the spectrum these would go, but I am intrigued by the formula, by the compact design, and by the powder mold that takes on the same design as the compact. I'm a sucker for this type of stuff. What can I say? I don't need it. And I actually skipped the Dior bronzer release that had the bronzer pan, but like that blush stripe across. I almost bought one of those, and I think that bronzer dropped with the star filter and the glow maximizer. That was an insane drop. I wanted everything when that reeled its ugly head on my wallet, but I ended up just getting 1 star filter and 3 glow maximizers in all. I have rosy, peach, and bronze, which is why I really shouldn't get 2-2. Because I have rosy and peach. How my final basket, I think, will look: lilac glow maximizer and the 2 quads. I think that's what I'm leaning towards. I know I don't need both quads, but I think each of them are just beautiful. They serve an entirely different purpose. And I'm just scrolling through Trend Mood's page here. I wanted to quickly touch on the Hourglass foundation that's is released already, my apologies. The all-in-one formula combines benefits of a broad spectrum SPF 30 sunscreen, advanced skincare, and high-performance foundation for a glow that lasts all day. Ultra creamy texture melts into skin for a luminous, even-toned complexion. 26 shades, $58. I don't like my complexion products with SPF in them. I just think it doesn't make sense to me, because for an SPF product to do what it needs to do, it has to be applied in a way that is not favorable for a complexion product. And what I mean by that is SPF sunscreen is like 3 fingers worth in a layer, like in an actual layer where you don't want to purposely rub in. You actually want it to have a little bit of texture left behind so it can create an appropriate film shield against the sun. You don't want your complexion product to sit on your face like that. So for me to apply this product in a way that I want it to appear skin-like and natural and finished, then I'm not going to have enough sun protection. The sun protection is not going to do its thing because it's not applied in a way that promotes that protection, because it's not there. And then depending on the filters, because knowing Hourglass, they might be using zinc. I'm not entirely sure. because a whole like chemical, non-chemical thing is a silly argument. Everything's a chemical. Anyway, depending on what type of filter you use, I think will skew the undertone a little bit. That's a trade-off, right? Because when it comes to combining SPF and makeup, it could get a little tricky with the shades with the SPF product in there. Whatever it is, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I can go on the Hourglass website. Here we go investigating. I keep forgetting it's not hourglass.com. That is not the website, Alicia. Hourglass Cosmetics. I'm not wooed. Available now, but it's not on the website. Well, anyway, maybe I should go under... Is this supposed to replace the Veil Hydrating Skin Tint? Maybe. Now, if we're going to talk about their Ambient Soft Glow Foundation, when their Seamless Finish Foundation Stick, when... I don't know about this new product, though. I don't know. Illusion Luminous Glow Foundation. This is a dedicated foundation, the new product. So I guess it's not replacing the tint. The tint stays, but they're both hybrid products that have the SPF in there. I'm skeptical. I will need to see it in action. But if I were to buy this product, it wouldn't be because of the SPF, because that is the pull, right? Because people think since the complexion product has SPF, is an all-in-one. There is never a free lunch. You are giving up something when having this type of hybrid product. If you are purchasing this for sun protection, you're not being protected. That is the truth. And if anything, sure, apply your SPF first and then your makeup second, but that will be largely unsuccessful because, again, the way you apply your SPF is not going to be a favorable texture for your complexion product. You will dismantle the film that needs to be present for suitable sun protection. So if you're messing around blending out your foundation on top of your SPF, you're done. You lost. So that's going to be on standby. I'll have it on my radar because I'm interested to see how it wears, what people think about it. But again, I wouldn't buy this for sun protection. And I wouldn't buy this in thinking, oh, I'm doing 10 things at once. No, something's suffering 100%, and that's the sun protection. Now, if it's a great complexion product and it doesn't smell weird, that's an entirely different story. But back to my original topic of this video with the Dior. Right now, I narrowed down my 6, however many products I had in my basket originally. We're down to 3. Let's see what the total is now, because the total before was like in the 300s. That's too much money. I couldn't do it. So right now with the Glow Maximizer and the 2 quads, we're down to $187. That's a little more doable. I can do that. Still expensive. That's basically $200 because we haven't gone to checkout yet. So we haven't added the tax. I think this puts me over the free shipping threshold. It better. And I'm buying this off Dior because I think they have a great loyalty program, a rewards program. And especially because you can choose to have your package like fancied up or just have the regular eco-friendly packaging. I think they're just more options for the shipping. And the fact that you can rack up points on a luxury brand site, yeah, sign me up, and I am signed up. So that is it, family. Let me know what you think down below because this is fun to do. Of course, I wish I was with you in person, all of you, just a round table of should I buy it? And if you have any of these products already, that will be helpful to me. If you have one of these products already, what you feel about it, what your expectations are, have they been met? Have they just been completely obliterated? I will see you down there. But if you made it this far, make sure you like this video, consider subscribing, and click that notification bell so you are alerted of my uploads immediately. You might as well subscribe because I'm coming back on here with my purchases. That means we're going to do the demos and the application and all that fun stuff. So don't miss out. Subscribe, notification bell, hit the like, and I'll see you back here next time.